there seemed to be a lot of, restrictions put on women when it came to sexuality and none on men. And as I, became more famous and started to see what people were writing about me, I noticed that people were writing and making comments about the way I looked, and then I would compare it to, what they would write about men, and they wouldn't comment so much about the way a man looked. And then I also noticed that if you were perceived as being sexy or attractive or pretty, you pretty much were sort of, the idea that you had something of value to say was also taken away from you. And so I think I kind of got angry and reactive about all of that, and I decided to sort of take it all the way over the edge and say, well, wait a minute, that's not true. You can actually be very sexual and very intelligent at the same time. And watch this, and here I'm going to do it. And not only that, but there's more to life than the male turning a female into an object, a sex object. I'm going to turn myself into a sex object. You know what I mean? I was just playing with convention and sexuality and trying to see what the boundaries were. And I was kind of trying to work it out, not only in my own head, but trying to understand why men and women were perceived differently and treated differently, only to realize and understand now that, in fact, women and men are different, and that's all there is to it. Male energy and female energy is indeed very different, and that is why, on a very primal level, we have the reactions that we do. So it was a sociological study for me.
Were you ever shy or self-conscious about your body?
Yes, I continue to be shy and self-conscious about my body. That's the paradox of me.
I'm surprised to hear that. I thought you were going to say, are you kidding? Of course not.
No. Right. Well, no, I think I've always felt awkward about my body since I was a child. I was kind of chubby and overweight when I was younger, and I wasn't popular at all. I'd never had a boyfriend in high school. Well, I did have one boyfriend, but he was like the weirdest person in the school. And I think when I became a dancer, and I started to lose weight and get thin, and then I felt like people started to notice me and like me more because I was thin, which is just hideous and ridiculous. But that is the way we are. And then I stopped dancing, and then I kind of got chubby again, and that's when I was a performer, and everybody kept making remarks about how chubby I was, and that sort of irritated me. And so I felt like my body was always being, criticized or pointed out, and I felt actually very self-conscious all my life about it. And I think part of my my own kind of private and public sexual revolution was me saying, okay, I don't want to be ashamed of my body.